The division of grass time is calculated as follows. 2 atoms make 1 double atom and 3 double atoms make 1 hexatom. This hexatom is visible in the sunshine which enters through the holes of a window screen. One can clearly see that the hexatom goes up towards the sky. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The atom is described as an invisible particle, but when 6 such atoms combine together, they are called a Trasarenu, and this is visible in the sunshine pouring through the holes of a window screen. The Sanstha Bhaktivedanta Purporto Madhyanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Pashyate Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here Maitreya Rishi is explaining about how the gross time is divided, the divisions. In the previous verses we have seen what is Paramanu, and then here it is mentioned 2 atoms make 1 double atom and 3 double atoms make what is known as Trasarenu. So if the sunshine is entering into your room through the window, and sometimes you can see there are some renus in those, sunshine. In the sunshine you can observe those renus. Some atoms are moving up. Next time when you have an opportunity, you can observe this. They are called Trasarenus. So at Paramanu level, atom level, they are invisible. But when 6 such atoms are combined, then they are known as Trasarenus, and Trasarenus are visible. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam is self-evident. That means each and every statement is an evidence by itself. It doesn't depend on some other evidence to prove its statements. It is not that when we hear a statement from Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, we have to again look back to some modern theories and prove its statements. No. Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, each and every statement is self-evident. It is evidence by itself. In fact, every other evidence has to depend on this evidence if it has to be some truth. So we all know, to know the truth, broadly there are 3 categories. The 3 methods are there. What is the truth to understand? The first method is called Pratyaksha. That means the direct evidence. Whatever our senses can directly perceive, that is called Pratyaksha. And the second one is Anumana. That means conjecturing or speculating. Like when I was reading, there is a sound. Immediately mind is conjecturing, what is that sound? What happened? Our mind is like that. But then I cannot actually figure out why that sound came. Somebody has to come and tell me that this is what it is. That is called Shabda Praman. The final evidence, the final method is Shabda Praman. In all these three, the sound from the authority is considered the safest and the highest. In fact, that is the only evidence, and the logic, that Anumana, Pratyaksha, they are all supportive maximum. They can only play a supportive role, but they can never be the, maybe some truths we can learn directly perceiving and then speculating. But if you want to know the absolute truth, the only way is the sound that is depicted in the Bhagavatam and Bhagavatam. So here, when we hear the divisions of time, this is evidence. And this is not only evidence, it is universally evident. These Trasarenus on this planet, the Trasarenus on Mars or Moon or wherever, it's all the same. The whole cosmic manifestation has ultimate particle is there, that is Paramanu, and 6 such Paramanus are put together. It's called X-atom or the Trasarenu. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a definition. What is a sutra? It says, Alpaksharam asamdigdham saravat vishvatomukham. A sutra means it should be vishvatomukham, universally applicable. So what Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is natural commentary on these sutras which are depicted in Vedanta. They are called Vedanta Sutra. Sutra means necessarily it should be vishvatomukham, universally applicable principle it is. It's a principle. Asandigdham, there is no sandigdha there. It's final. Saravat is an essence, it's a final, already experimented, everything is done, and it is a realized knowledge. The sages, the ancient scientists, they have already figured out what is the truth, and that is been depicted in Alpaksharam, in very few words. That is called Sutra. So, since Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on this Vedanta Sutra, the statements of Bhagavatam are also pramana. They are evidenced by themselves. When Mahaprabhu, he explains about his matam, what is his path, it is said that Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajeshatanaya Taddhama Vrindavanam. In that shloka he says, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. So if you want to know the absolute truth, the faultless, Amala means, it is free from all the mistakes, all the mala, all the contaminations. It is such an evidence. The purest evidence for the absolute truth comes from Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahaprabhu has certified. That's why we, in our parampara, we focus on Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you can quote from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, your argument is complete. Because that is evidence, that's all. You need not have to prove from something else. So that's why in devotee circles, when we are talking something, it has to be proven on the basis of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Devotee should be ready to quote that evidence. Yes, I am speaking like this, and this is the source for my argument. Otherwise, it's simply argumentum for the sake of argument. And I am great or you are great, and it goes on. Endless fightings goes on because people's mood is not to know the truth. Their mood is to prove that they are something better. But when somebody quotes from the authority, if you are really a seeker of truth, then immediately you will accept. Srila Prabhupada is the Diksha Guru, is the Guru for this movement for the next 10,000 years. There are so many evidences be present. There are letters, there are so many things. But still, because we are not seeking the truth, people are not behind the truth, they are behind their positions, personal ambitions. So that's why they cannot see. So, this is called coloring. When our consciousness gets colored, we will not be able to see the truth right in front of us. The truth will be actually every moment, every second, the truth is striking us. But we will not be able to see the truth. Why? Because the consciousness is colored. Our spectacles have become colored. If I have put red spectacle, everywhere I see red color. It is like that. What is this contamination? What is this coloring? These three modes are the colors. If our consciousness gets contaminated by sattva guna, we see in a certain way. Passion we see in a certain way. And tamo guna we see in a certain way. But what Bhagavatam is presenting is transcendental knowledge. The knowledge that is vibrated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead or His uncontaminated devotees, pure devotees. So, so when we hear that this is Trasharenu, through the windows you see sometimes some atoms are moving up. They are called Trasarenu. So Bhagavatam itself is giving an evidence. You want to see what are these Trasarenus? Yes, here you can see. When the Jalarka Rashmi, that sunshine, Avagataha, Kam Evanu Patan, seems to be moving up, those Trasarenus. Actually, interestingly, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Maharaj, while explaining about how universes came from the pores of Mahavishnu, he uses this example of Trasarenu. He says how the Trasarenus are pouring into the room through the window, are going out into the sky. Similarly, from the pores of Mahavishnu, the universal seeds are going out like small Trasarenus. So, it is a known standard in all the Vedic authorities. Trasarenu is something new to us, but it is a known division, it's a known particle in the Vedic authority. So similarly, when we also speak, if we can speak in terms of the Trasarenus and the next divisions, there are so many divisions the Bhagavatam is going to say, so that means we are quoting from the Vedic authorities. Next one says, Trasarenu Trikam Bhungte Yah Kalas Satruti Smata Shatabhagastu Vedasya Taistri Bhistu Lava Smrta. The time duration needed for the integration of three Trasarenus is called a Truti. And 100 Trutis make one Veda. 3 Vedas make one Lava. These are the divisions. Like we have, we'll come to that also, what we have. Purport. It is calculated that if 1 second is divided into 1687.5 parts, each part is called Truti. See, because they are dimensions easily there. Prabhupada is saying this is called Truti. Truti means 3 Trasarenus time. The sun which takes the time to cross 3 Trasarenus, that is called Truti, and that is 1 second divided by 1687.5. This is the time. And then such a combination of atoms into different bodies creates the calculation of material time. The sun is the central point for calculating all different durations. In the last class also we have discussed the time is dependent on the body. If it is this planet, one kind of a time. If it is Brahma's planet, Pitru's planet. Generally they calculate our time, Pitru's time, and the Deva's time and Brahma's time. Jai Radha Govinda. For us, if it is 1 year, Devas, it is 1 day. For Pitrus, it is 12 days. For us, 1 month, Pitru is 1 day, Pitruloka. Brahma, our 1 year is very difficult. It's a fraction of a fraction of a. So one of these units can be used for identifying those. So the time scale, the time experience of the time, past, present and future, this is the experience only available in this world, that is different from different planets. What is 1 day for Brahma, it goes on expanding as we come down in the universe, and that's why the time dilates as we come down. Brahma's 1 day becomes so big for us, and then it will become even more bigger for the lower planetary systems. So it is like that. So, but as we move up, there is a point where time is 0, and then we go into the spiritual world where there is time, but there is no experience of past, present and future. There is no such relativity. It is not visible actually. Its presence is it is conspicuous by its absence. It is not visible. It's only enhancing the pastimes of Krishna. So then next one is, next divisions are Nimeshas Tri Lavajneya Amna Tastitraya Kshana Kshanan Panchavidu Kastam Lagu Ta Dasha Panchahta. The duration of time of 3 lavas is equal to 1 nimesha. The combination of 3 nimeshas makes 1 kshana. 5 kshanas combined together make 1 kashta, and 15 kashtas make 1 laghu. Purport: by calculation, it is found that 1 laghu is equal to 2 minutes. The atomic calculation of time in terms of Vedic wisdom may be converted into present time with this understanding. So Prabhupada is mentioning, because 1 laghu is 2 minutes, we understand what is minute. So this basis we can calculate what is a nimesha, what is a kshana, what is a lava. All this we can identify. Next, laghuni vai samamnatha dasapanchacha nadika tedve muhurta praharaha shad yama saptavanuna. Translation: 15 laghus make 1 nadika, which is also called a dhanda. 2 dhandas make 1 muhurta, and 6 or 7 dhandas make 1/4 of a day or night, according to human calculation. Next, dvadashardha palonmanam chaturbis chaturangulai swarnamashai krutachidram yavat prastha jalaplutam. Translation: the measuring part for 1 nadika or danda can be prepared with a 6 pala weight, 14 ounce pot of copper, in which a hole is bored with a gold probe weighing 4 masha and measuring 4 fingers long. When a pot is placed on water, the time before the water overflows in the pot is called one danda. So there is a measurement for this danda. Purport. It is advised herein that the bore in the copper measuring pot must be made with a probe weighing not more than 4 masha and measuring not longer 4 fingers. This regulates the diameter of the hole. The pot is submerged in water and the overflooding time is called a danda. This is another way of measuring the duration of a danda, just as time is measured by sand in a glass. It appears that in the days of Vedic civilization, there was no dearth of knowledge in physics, chemistry, or higher mathematics. Measurements were calculated in different ways as simply as could be done. So here there is a method given how to measure a danda. So it is about preparing a pot of copper. You have to take, and there is a hole, and there is a gold probe weighing 4 masha. I don't know what it is, and measuring 4 fingers long. That is so the pot is kept in water and the water is gushing through that hole, and the weight is allowing the water not instantaneously, slowly it is water is coming inside the pot, and by the time the pot is filled up and overflows, that is called danda, that time. So that is one method by which they used to measure what is a danda. So Prabhupada is saying here, in the Vedic civilization, there is no dearth of knowledge in physics, chemistry, or higher mathematics. So you can see here there is time measurement, physics is involved, chemistry is involved. You are choosing a copper, you are choosing gold, there must be some reason. And then higher mathematics is also involved. There are so many measurements here. So all these things are involved, but the measuring methods were as simple as possible. The basic needs of the human being are met by these sciences, physics, chemistry, and higher mathematics. Vedic civilization, there was no encouragement for, in the sense, taking these sciences and exploit the material nature. They used to keep the material life very simple. The measurements, the techniques, everything they used to keep very simple. And they used to focus on the spiritual life. They used to have a lot of time for spiritual life. Now here, when you go to anybody and ask about spiritual life or come to the temple, the first complaint is, we have no time. And genuinely, they are very busy because they have to do so many things. Now why they are so busy? Because Bhagavad Gita says how these material things, they expand. It says, Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Apahruta Chetasam Vyavasayatmaka Buddhi. If you want a concentration in Krishna consciousness, then that is called Vyavasayatmaka Buddhi. Undiverted attention on Krishna consciousness. Now, what are the enemies for this? There are two enemies. Bhoga and Aishwarya. Bhoga means material enjoyment, and Aishwarya means the material opulences. accumulating more money, accumulating cars, buildings, these all opulences, name, fame, and bhoga means enjoyment. If somebody prasaktanam, asaktanam means he becomes very asakti, starts showing lot of interest in these two things. And then apahruta chetasam, his mind is carried away, apahruta, stolen away, chetasa, that means in his chitta, in his consciousness, fully he is attached to these two, then vyavasayatmaka buddhi, it will not come. Then what will happen if somebody is attached like this bhoga and aishwarya, bahushakahi anantascha. His consciousness, his thinking will now start moving into bahushaka. Krishna consciousness is about one shaka, vyavasayatmika. There is only one, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Now bahushaka means it will start dividing into unlimited branches of knowledge. So many branches of knowledge. If you want to understand how many branches of knowledge are there today, oh my God, so many. In medicine itself, there are so many. And people will say, yes, obviously, because there are many diseases. Obviously, you need, all these sciences. And we are saying, keep your life simple, then diseases won't be there. You have a simple life, in tune with the nature, in tune with the God's instructions, then where is the disease? But when we go against all these injunctions, for example, previously, sunset, immediately the people used to start winding up and sleep early. And with the sunrise, they also get up. Now, where is the chance for such standards? People will become active after sunset, and then they sleep after sunrise. That's the period where many negative forces actually become very active. So when we live a life out of tune with God's plan, Krishna's plan, then all the diseases will come, and then so many things will come. So that's why here we can see Bhagavatam, a very simple technique to measure and utilize these sciences is been given. The idea is to see Krishna's hand in all these sciences and develop our attachment to him. You need a way to glorify Krishna. Yes, through physics you can glorify, through chemistry you can glorify, higher mathematics you can glorify. This is the mood of Bhagavata. You have a certain way of thinking. In that way itself you can glorify Krishna and then develop your attachment for him. This is the mood of Bhagavata. So all these descriptions are meant for enhancing our attachment and ultimately our love for Krishna. We'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.